Hello everyone. So today we're going to factor out a monomial out of a binomial. So there's two rounds to it. So round one, we have 3x to the fifth plus 12. And we're going to factor out the greatest common factor between 3 and 12. We can't factor out x's yet because there's no x term here. So because there's no x term here, or letter term, or variable, this is just going to stay where it is. So the GCF of 3 and 12, well, 3 is just 1 times 3. 12 is 3 times 2 times 2, so they both have 3 in common. So that means I'm going to factor out a 3. So 3 will be on the outside. Now I'm going to multiply back. So 3 times 1, that doesn't mean by multiply back. 3 times 1 gets me 3. The x to the fifth is going to stay x to the fifth. And then 3 times 4 gets me 12. So if I multiply this, 3 times 1 is 3x to the fifth, 3 times 4 is 12. So this will multiply back to that. Okay, now here the GCF between 8 and 10. Okay, 8 is 2 times 4, and 4 is 2 times 2. So we got 3 2's, and 10 is 2 times 5. So they have 1, 2 in common. I'll stick with the blue color code. So now we factor out a 2, and now we multiply back. So 2 times what gets me 8? That'd be 2 times 4. Okay, x to the third stays x to the third. We can't factor out an x term because this one doesn't have one. And now here, 2 times negative 5 is negative 10. Notice here how we can just keep the minus sign because we factor out the 2. So it's just minus and then 2 times 5 gets me 10. So if you multiply back, 2 times 4 is 8, x to the third, 2 times negative 5 is negative 10. Okay, so here's yours round one. You want to pause and do. And here comes notes round two. So for notes round two, now both terms have an x term or a letter term or a variable term in them. So we're still trying to find the GCF of the numbers. So 5 and 10, 5 is 1 times 5, 10 is 2 times 5. They both have 5 in common. And we're also going to factor out the smallest letter term, x term, variable term, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so between x squared and x is smaller. Okay, we're going to stick with a blue x. Okay, so the 5 comes out, the x comes out. Now we multiply back. 5 times 1 gets us 5. X to the first and x squared is, remember, x to the first power. So I have 1. I need 2, so I need 1 more. Plus 5 times 2 gets me 10, and I already have my x's here. So that's all set. So if we multiply it back, 5x times 1x is 5x squared. 5x times 2 is 10x. Okay, moving on to this one. We have 6 and 18. Notice how I'm doing 18 and not negative 18. I'm just going to keep that minus sign when I factor it out. So we're just worried about positive 18. The factors of positive 18. Okay, so they both have a 2 and a 3 in common. So we multiply those together. 2 times 3 gets us 6. Okay, so we factor out a 6 and our small letter term. Okay, so x to the fifth, x to the seventh, and the x to the fifth is small. So x to the fifth comes out. All right, now we multiply back. So 6 times what gets us 6? Well, that'd be 1. X to the fifth and X to the fifth are all set. I already have them. Okay, minus 6 times 3 gets us 18. Now we have X to the fifth. We need X to the seventh, so we need 2 more. So we're going to put X squared, because remember, when you multiply here, you add the exponents. All right, here comes yours. Final round. You want to pause and do here. And that will be it for today.